From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
But if we're honest, we can change our minds. And if you want it, we can make things right tonight.
It's Friday, August 23rd, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Where has this year gone? I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studio on the ones and twos, our illustrious brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Just up the road in Gatorland, Florida, Eddie Big Cat Koffoltz.
Yes, go Gators.
Welcome back.
Thanks,
From Nashville, Tennessee, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents, and go Dogs. If we're starting this early, I'm coming in hot.
Hey, I'm
boy.
saying.
It's hard to hear.
This is the Friday show. We're recording on Friday. Both Eddie and I are all a Twitter with anticipation for the SEC football season that kicks off tomorrow.
Oh, man. I cannot wait. It's going to be a good year for Florida. Not that anybody cares, but you and I care, and we're on the microphones.
Why is it going to be a good year for Florida?
Because
Did the rest of us get bad all of a sudden? No.
I mean,
Aren't they still in the SEC?
The cream of the crop.
Switched to Division II, and no one told us.
The cream of the crop for the
opener
SEC
against
we know
Iowa.
is Alabama and Georgia. We know, but Florida went from 4 wins to 10 last year with a new coaching regime. This is the first year he's putting his stamp on the program. Felipe Franks looks really good. I'm just saying this is the year we go from 10 to 12.
Coach Mullen, I met him when we were trick-or-treating last year, and I gave him the look, and he gave me the look. And so I'm just saying there was a lot exchanged in that look. Get ready for
And
it.
the good
I mean,
news
this
is
is your first football season being in Gainesville again, isn't it, Eddie?
No, the second we moved up right before the last one.
Oh, right.
you know
So,
what the
yeah, we're
good news
fully into
is for Florida and all the other SEC teams. I hear bad things about Clemson and Alabama this year. I mean,
Yeah,
should be
right.
a
So there's
real
that.
cake walkthrough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. We always have the Nats.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it. What was the joke, Jesse? I don't get it.
The only reason we'd be good is because everybody else that's actually good is not as good this year.
Yeah, but Clemson and Alabama are still like powerhouses that are almost unbeatable. And Georgia is also in the SEC.
Yes, they are also a football team.
You can sleep on us now. That's fine. You know what? Go ahead, Jess. You go ahead and sleep on Georgia right now. We'll see.
Oh, I'm sleeping
That's
on
fine
them.
with me.
Clemson
You
and
sound
Alabama
exactly
are
like a Georgia
basically
fan.
NFL teams. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's to be fair.
I'm pretty sure both of them could beat the New York Jets right now as they stand.
Yeah,
I wish
true.
they'd let us see that. I wish one college team would have the courage to play one NFL team like that just to see.
Yeah, well, the Team USA, the basketball team, just lost to the select team of super fringe guys that aren't that above college players. And famously, the Dream Team, the 92 Dream Team, lost to a team of college all-stars back in the day when they had first assembled the team and they're getting ready for Barcelona. There's a famous piece about it. I think it's in the New York Times called "The Dream Team's Really Bad Day." But it was the same thing. Like, these college guys are like, I'm going to go play against Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. And they came out cutthroat and these guys just weren't prepared. So who knows? I think that's been the most recent episode of Relevant Pseudo Sports Podcast. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Oh, man. I really loved that show, man.
I've missed that show.
Oh, it was one of my favorites.
Maybe we just bring it back. Who cares about being financially sustainable? Maybe we
I was
just bring
going to
it back.
say, that's about what the budget can handle, what Jesse just did.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can just do it right
And I
now.
told Karen before we started recording, I was like, I'm talking to an NBA player today, and we're going to sit on the interview. I want to do it. It's going to be awesome. He's talking faith. I don't know. We're going to sit on it. We'll see. But, it's good to have stuff like this in the hopper. You never know.
Let's just buzz up Steve Carter. Let's just get him on the horn, get him in here with us, and call it a show.
Sam, right now, the Bears coming into the NFL season are projected, they're like the favorite, one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. So we'll see. I can't help but think his years on that podcast inspired football glory this year for the Super Bowl.
I don't understand. Okay, help me explain. I don't watch the NFL and I don't watch baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm every once in a while it'll pass through my awareness. And I was in the car the other day and it was like some guy got traded from the worst team in the MLB to the best team. And it was like the worst team Kansas City Royals. And I was like, I thought they were in the World Series just a couple years ago. And then you're talking about the Bears. The Bears were like a league doormat for so long, and now they're a Super Bowl favorite. Like, how in the world does a team go so quickly up and down in these leagues? Because the NBA, it doesn't happen like that.
No, it doesn't.
The
Jesse.
NBA, I mean, it's rare unless you get like a generational talent like a LeBron or something that can elevate a franchise, but that's incredibly rare. With the NFL in particular, the lifespan of players, the average career in the NFL is 3 years. So the turnaround for a whole roster is pretty quick compared to other sports, especially
so
like
if you change the
baseball.
front office or the coaches within 2 years, you could, with a new strategy, you could absolutely transform a franchise.
The Bears last year, if it wasn't for that infamous double doink in the NFC playoffs,
the double doink.
Yeah, they could have been conceivably in the Super Bowl last year. But you look at a team like the Jaguar, like Jacksonville, they bring in a head of football operations and Tom Coughlin, who came from the Giants, who aren't good right now, but they won 2 Super Bowls under Coughlin. And all of a sudden, the Jaguars go from league doormat to the best defense in the league, and now also potentially one of the favorites. So the NFL can turn around really fast. And baseball is all about money. If people are willing to spend money, they can get a good team. It's pretty much as simple as that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
it's so crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's why this guy, like someone like a Bryce Harper, can command what he gets, because he really basically can pull the entire team. He can take the entire organization all the way to the end with his ability.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got one more sports hot take before we move on, and this is something that even if you're just a marginal sports fan, can appreciate. I think to get more people, like you guys are. Here's a perfect example. You guys are excited about college football. I know Cameron doesn't really care too much about like baseball. Annie, there's probably sports you don't care about, but you have ones that you really like. So here's my idea to solve it. It's called Crossover Weekend, and it's a giant weekend tournament where players from one sport play another in tournament style. So all of a sudden you got NFL guys playing basketball. You got basketball players playing baseball. It's a 1 weekend tournament where athletes are playing sports that they're not pros in. The whole country would watch. Everyone would love it. And
it's basically MTV's Rock and Jock.
Yeah.
While that would be fun to watch, you know what else is going to be fun to watch, Jesse? Is I have a note here. Big news in the world of sports.
Big.
Annie F. Downs is now playing indoor soccer.
That's right. Dominating soccer.
I am back to my soccer playing ways of my youth.
What? Tell us about the journey. What position are you playing?
The journey.
That all's still, well, I'm a defender. I'm not a forward. So I am
in soccer.
Sweeper. Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you something, Annie. Annie, let me give you a piece of advice as someone who my high school didn't even have a men's soccer team. But
right. So
from
have
my
a
understanding,
lot of expertise to speak
from
to.
my understanding of the game and how I would approach it is completely positionless. Like when people say what position you play, I look them dead in the eyes. I say all of them. I'm all over the field, slide tackling. I got the greenest of green lights when I play sports. I'm taking shots from midfield if I want.
Right.
My teammate, their job is to support me because of my natural athleticism. It's raw. I'm an uncut diamond, but their job is just to contain the power. Okay, that's what I would tell my team, Annie. That's what I suggest you do. I play one game.
Hold on. The way you play soccer, Jesse, is that you're in the middle of the field.
That's right.
And your teammates are essentially
Perimeter.
the bumpers on the edges of the bowling lane.
Correct.
And you're going to just fling it at full force, and then it's going to ricochet off those bumpers, but eventually it'll get where it's wanting to go.
That's right. When people say, what position do you play? I say, wherever the ball is. Okay.
You play like every 5-year-old I know.
Yeah.
Who just runs to the soccer ball and just wherever the ball is.
5-year-olds actually have fun when they play, not like adults who take it too serious. I'm out there
you don't
just
have fun when you play soccer?
No, I played one indoor game, and I don't want to play soccer. Here's the thing. My hands are so good at things and are so coordinated with instruments, years of honing close-up magic and sleight of hand skills. What's happened is it's like when one sense gets too strong, the other ones sort of diminish, if you don't take extra care of them.
Right.
My feet coordination have somehow diminished because my hands are that good at things.
Right.
And when trying to control the ball, it's more of a power game. So I was at an indoor soccer game. My wife was playing in a league and their goalie couldn't make the game. And they're like, all right, well, we need someone to play goalie. And I'm in street clothes in this, just like wearing jeans.
No.
And they're like, hey, we need a goalie here. So I was like, oh, sure. Honestly, how hard could this be? Then in indoor, the net is tiny. It's like a hockey net. It's like, I could just stand there. I could just stand there with
team, right? It's not a women's team.
No, it's a co-ed team. No, it was a women's team. I went to the locker room, I put a wig on, and I went out there and I stood in the net and I was like, honestly, how hard could it be? I can just like extend my arms and put my fingers out and I'm covering like 80% of the net here. Like I'm about to shut this team down. This is going to be unbelievable. Yeah. I had in the first 6 minutes 8 goals scored on me, and they pulled me and just said, "We're going to put you out in the field. Just run around, trying to hurt anybody. Someone else has to play goal. This is so terrible."
Funny.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It was
hard, right?
I mean, you got 3 people running at you. One of them has the ball. It's like I don't know where he's going to kick it. I'm not a mind reader. It's impossible. It's a terrible sport. It's a stupid, terrible sport. I don't know why the world loves it so much.
No, I'm having a great time.
What's your story? Like, why are you, how, what, when, where, and how do we buy tickets?
I just really love it. I just really love soccer. And so I wanted to play again. I grew up playing. I played my whole life. I played until college. And going to college, I got injured at the end of my senior year and then lost the opportunities in college that I had. And so I just didn't play again. And I have just been doing some life assessing, gentlemen, and was thinking through what brings me the most joy. And I have a very simple, loving relationship with soccer. Yeah. I watch it every weekend. I'm a huge fan of the Nashville Soccer Club. I go to games all the time. I mean, Wednesday night I went and ate dinner at the game and watched the game as like my after work Wednesday thing, And so I just decided it was time to start playing again.
Oh, I wonder how much life assessment I would have to do to get me on a soccer field.
What? Yeah. What? Tell us more about the life assessment thing. What are you doing?
No? All right, good.
So,
fine.
Hold on. Is there because I'm picturing like
do you respect that, Eddie?
I picture Annie
no thanks.
What's the equivalent to my fantasy football war room, which is a room in my house with note cards everywhere, red yarn, pictures of players, stats, and I spend most of my time there. Is this what you're doing with your life?
Yeah.
Do you have
so instead of pictures of players, I have a picture of me every year of my life.
And friends, you probably have a big picture of me to say this guy's got it all together. Want to model after him. He's a power player out in the field.
That's right.
Field of life.
What's he doing? What's he doing that I can do? Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
No, I just started thinking about how it's something we all do in little chunks of our lives all the time, of just thinking about what matters most to us and what brings us the most joy and what is God doing in our lives? And soccer has been spinning around in my head for a while of playing again. And I have a couple of other things I do to work out during the week that I like, but nothing that I love. And I love soccer. So I was like, well, that's a good way to bring in a little more exercise into my week and do something that I really, really love.
Oh, totally. I get it. Like just the idea of introducing pure fun, things that aren't practical. Yeah. Like no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be a professional soccer player. No. So you can just have fun with it.
That's
like
right.
it's not a job.
There is no end goal here. Except a goal.
Oh,
I mean, there's no.
I was like, you're not doing it right if there's no end goal here. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's no like.
Right.
Before and after of this. This is just me playing soccer again.
I mean, listen, if a team happened to walk in and see me play and want to offer me some sort of professional contract, would I listen? Sure. Is that the end goal? I mean, I think about it.
Am I open to Megan Rapinoe or any of the other U.S. women national team women watching and calling me and asking me to join in as a 30-something player?
Why not?
Of course.
Why not? I mean, it could happen. Anything could happen.
That's not the goal. That's just the blessing that happens when you pursue.
I remember as a kid doing like one of these life assessments, like, what should I do do to bring myself low? What's a hobby I can pick up and, just improve my life and just have something to look forward to? And I was like, I'm going to do model cars. That seems pretty cool. I bought one model car and started putting it together. I'm like, this is terrible. This is the worst hobby ever.
That.
I would rather do nothing. I would rather sit in a dark room and just stare blankly into the void than sit here and try to assemble these.
So what are y'all's hobbies? Because that really, that is the word, Jesse, that I've been using internally and in my war room has been, I don't have any hobbies. And so what do you guys do for your hobbies?
Yeah, I have a couple of like purely fun things.
Okay.
Like I do
Like what?
just watching baseball. I like and watch, and so that's like a lazy one, but it's like a quick and easy and it's on all the time. I always have sort of a craft wood project going outside. So I'm always like building a table or building something like that. And they're never like, of course, they're nothing I'd ever like sell or make a business. It's just like I'm happy to be doing it. And then of course playing Xbox with my homies sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ones you text me about
mixing
on
it up
accident.
on the old Fortnite,
Well, it's super dumb, and I love it so much.
No.
I have a 9-year-old who would want to play with you if you ever want to play.
How good is he at Call of Duty?
No, he doesn't play Call of Duty. Yeah,
You should get him into that. It would totally traumatize him, but we would have a good time
But you're
together.
like, but we've got a real spot for him over
it's
here.
realistic.
On Team
It's realistic,
Coffles.
gratuitous violence, but really enhances the first person.
We got
shooting.
3 of us in our squad. We need a 4th, and for all the people that are listening, no, it cannot be you. I'm not going
I'm
to tell you
saving
my
this spot for Cohen.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing: Cohen wouldn't even be
Yeah.
the youngest one in Eddie's squad, his Call of Duty squad right now. So
No,
it's
it's a 10-year-old. No, that joke got weird. Yeah, you're right. I should have just left it with you. I didn't need to yes and you. I could have just gone with it.
Yeah, some jokes you just again, I'm a power
Just
player.
say,
I
like-
strike right to the heart of the goal, Eddie. Just
That's right.
just
That's
keep
right.
keep me in balance.
Right.
That's your job here.
Yeah,
That seems like a lot of work. Like you have
Yeah,
to drive to a place to do a thing with people,
It's
and you
so
come back
fun.
and
I'm
you're
not kidding
sweaty.
you, Cameron. My first time playing again, I almost cried at the end because I was like, I have not had this much like genuine fun in a very long time.
did you say you cried?
I almost cried.
Because of the
I
fun.
felt it in me.
There's no
because I just was
crying
like,
in soccer. I'm sorry. See, that was a reference.
it's
I
classic.
see
What
what
I
you
just
did.
did
You even
there.
made a baseball joke.
Yeah.
Cameron,
a little
didn't
baseball.
you almost a couple years ago? I remember getting in your. I was down in Florida and we're going somewhere after work, and we got in your car, and there was a softball bat in the back seat. And I was like, "What is this
Oh,
about?"
what?
And you were considering taking up softball for like a very brief time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I feel like I heard about this.
No, I don't ever recall that.
No.
Someone had invited you to. I remember this, Chandler. Do you remember this?
No, I don't. No.
Someone invited you to like a church softball team, and you were like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm going to give it a shot. It sounds pretty cool.
Oh,
And I was like,
oh, no,
you know what?
listen,
Church
listen.
softball does sound awesome.
You know what? So it wasn't.
remember that
yeah,
now, right?
Yeah. Okay. I do. It was a very brief memory. I was going to a new church. I was getting super plugged in.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys enjoyed baseball and stuff. And so they did a church softball team and signed me up. Like, just you're doing it with us. Okay. The problem was Carlos Pena and a couple of ex-MLB guys were on the team.
Yeah.
And the league
That's when it's not fun.
the league was
That's
very
so cool.
very intense.
Yeah.
And I came out for the first game and gave my jersey back after the game because I did not enjoy myself, though I did get on base 2 out of 3 at bats, but still did not enjoy the intensity.
Yeah.
Everybody's like just on edge and whatever. And this is like them reliving their varsity, peak. And like
No.
it was horrible. I was like, guys,
I want a softball team from like an 80s movie where it's just like some normal fat guys in not matching shirts standing around, and they're just
These
kind
guys
of,
were-
they're bonking one over to second or down.
That's what I
And
thought.
then the jocks from the camp across the lake come over to play, and they bully you,
Yeah.
and but the ragtag middle-aged guys end up taking it to them.
It was like literally like, guys,
Call
the
themselves
world
the
is a big
Dusters.
place. Life is bigger than this. You don't need to be so wrapped up in this. You know what I mean? Like it was too intense
Yeah.
for these guys. And it was like, nah,
I-
we weren't
You
having
don't want to
fun.
be crushed. You just want to like swing the bat around a little bit.
We weren't
and,
having
run the
fun.
bases and see what you can do.
Is that what Annie is? Annie, is the vibe of your thing is just fun? Or is it like people doing like, are they there intensely?
Everybody's having fun. A couple of my girlfriends, we're all going to do the same indoor team. And so it's all fun. It's just like fun. But it's kind of interesting. I think this is interesting. When you get to like post 25, it's a little bit harder to find team play.
Yeah.
Because there aren't a lot of like, for me, a lot of my peers are moms. Y'all have moms to your children. You get it. And not a lot of moms are playing indoor soccer anymore, but I've got some friends who are moms who are playing some indoor soccer and some other single girls.
Yeah.
So we're going to live it up.
Can I tell one quick
good for 'em.
softball story?
Please.
Of course you can.
When I was in high school, we would occasionally we would do like dumb pranks, and we decided it'd be really fun to like mess up an adult league soccer or softball game for people we didn't know for no reason. And we like we're gonna film it. So we had a friend of ours that we had found. It started because at the thrift store we found like the oldest, weirdest baseball uniform you've ever seen. Right, like it was super tight with like a weird logo from a team you've never heard of, and my friend bought it, and then we're like, okay, you should wear that to like a church league women's softball game and be on the stands with like a clipboard, like keeping track and like shouting and being just like the world's biggest softball fan, like just some weirdo in a baseball uniform. And then you should storm the field at one point on a non-controversial call and start just getting in the umpire's face and get thrown out of the game like you see in the movies, like kicking dirt and the whole thing. Cause a scene and it'll be hilarious, right? And he was like, okay, that will be really funny. Like people will be like, why is this person storming the field arguing with the umpire? People are gonna love it. It'll be hilarious.
Great joke.
I don't think it would be. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Finish your story.
So we're like, oh, dude, this is so hilarious. We got the clipboard and everything. I think we gave him a whistle. Like he was decked
Oh my
out.
gosh.
And so we like pulled up and we knew where they played softball, but we didn't do any recon. It wasn't really that sophisticated. So we go to the softball game, and Cameron, it was like your league. They were the biggest dudes I have ever seen in my life playing that
Really?
softball game.
Never.
Every one of those
recon.
Every one of those guys was 230 pure muscle. Like they were
not big like fat guys.
This
big,
was like a
jacked.
semi-pro softball league. Okay,
Oh, no.
I mean they
Right.
were wearing all matching like jerseys with like real sponsors on them. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
like massive people that were taking the game very, very seriously. And we're like, Eric, dude, you're too deep, man. You can't not go through with it now.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
And so
I just call abort mission. We're not doing
we're
it.
like, no, it's
Yeah.
too funny
Right.
not to do. So he's like, in the stands, and people are kind of giving him a weird look because we didn't sit near him. We, there was like a decent amount of people in these bleachers.
You didn't sit near him.
No, because we're like, you have to project like you're just some weirdo that showed up to the
Oh,
game
my
and are for
gosh.
some reason really into the stats of this thing, and no one knows you. So he's like shouting like, hey, bada, bada! Like, and no one is shouting. No one in the stands is shouting. And he is just, and like people are like moving further away, but he's doing like the little, we want a picture, not a belly itcher. And people are like, who is this maniac? And we're like, all right, we're all waiting on the other side of the field. Like, okay, at any point he's going to storm the field here. I could tell he was getting nervous about going in and like, because there's a legitimate chance he could get beat up by very large men who also have bats.
Right.
You can't overthink it.
Yeah.
Also, because they're serious about this. Don't matter who's this idiot messing up our game. They're going to confront the guy.
So at one point, this guy like dings like a long foul ball like out of the field of play, right? And so my friend jumps out of the bleachers, starts blowing his whistle, and starts running for it full sprint. Okay, every guy on the Annie, this is true. The video of this exists somewhere. I gotta ask my brother if he has it somewhere, because so my friend is blowing a whistle, running down the bleachers like out of the way, and he's running full sprint to go retrieve this foul ball. He goes and grabs the foul ball. This point the game is stopped and everyone's just looking at the spectacle. He goes to go return the ball. He goes to jump the fence to get on the field, trips and falls, biffs it right there. His clipboard flies out.
gosh.
He picks up the ball and he goes to throw it back to the ump and overthrows the ump by a mile and chucks it out the other
He's just
side.
got adrenaline pacing
and
through him.
chucks it out the other side of the field. He grabs his whistle and starts blowing it and starts sprinting running out the other side of the field to go get it. I have never laughed more harder, and I've never been more afraid in my life. Because after he returned the ball, he full sprinted back to the car, and we just drove away and never returned. It was, there
is zero chance that we would have been friends in high school. Zero.
Oh no.
Zero chance.
Same.
You did so many dumb things.
That was all we did was something. Okay, Annie, dumb things were my soccer. Like I need I need a little quality of life here. I'm going to do weird stuff that is going to, it'll pay off, 15 years from that moment. I get to tell the story on a podcast because honestly, up to now, I hadn't really remembered it because we did so much weird stuff.
Your whole life has been preparing for this podcast run.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing, Jesse, is that you have stories like that just in your life that you've forgotten. I don't forget that level of a story in my life.
That was just Tuesday night in high school. Like, all right, what other weird thing are we going to go do?
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to Jeremy and Audrey Roloff.
Oh my gosh, I love them so much.
Yes, they are podcast hosts. They're former reality stars from the show Little People, Big World. And now they're Instagram influencers with almost 2 million followers. They're joining us to talk about their new book, A Love Letter Life. A Love Letter Life.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with the interview with them. They got married on reality TV, and it was like a big cable event. Annie, I'm sure you watched. It was like a big.
Haven't we all?
I was not friends with them at that point, so I did not watch it, but I have watched clips of it since then.
Yeah, but I like it because they have a book that's like, and they've actually have founded an organization called Beating 50% that supplies young couples with relationship resources, and they have a new book about relationships. But I like it because they're not necessarily positioning themselves as the experts, but using their platform and their story as a way for people to be vulnerable and honest and tell their own relationship stories and kind of learn to get, community and mentorship and counseling is like a big part of their story and a big part about what we talked about. So I kind of like that they're doing that approach, and that's kind of what we talked about coming up.
Annie, you kind of name dropped like, I wasn't friends with them yet. I have a question. Yeah. Who's your most famous friend?
You, Cameron Strang.
Other than your wicked Broadway star, who's your most famous friend?
This is a super weird question. How do you determine how famous someone is?
Usually I would get you out of this, but I'm also curious. So I'd usually hop in.
Like actual friend, like you hang out more than twice a year. Yeah. Like actual friend. And not hang out because they're doing a podcast recording.
Or like, you can do a joke text and not have to be like, hey, what's up? How, like you can just do a quick buddy text.
Friend.
I don't like this question at all. I don't know because some people would say the four of us are famous and their moms have no idea who we are.
Yeah.
And so
nobody's
fame
saying
is
that.
in the eye of the beholder.
Jesse and Cameron.
I don't have a good answer to that. I have a lot of friends who have public lives.
What famous person has the most famous mom? Go.
Okay. All right.
Who has the most famous dad?
What's the most famous mom in the world?
Sean and Nyquist.
We're scrolling through your phone. What's the name that we get to that we're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, how about this? What's the most famous person you have in your phone? Go, Annie.
Oh, there you go.
You, Jesse. I'm not doing this, you guys.
No, I feel a little weird about doing it too. Because
I had a friend who I asked this question to, like, who's the most famous person in your phone? Madonna.
Wow.
Oh, that's a wild one.
That wins.
And I was like, how? And he told me the story. Like, he's now friends with Madonna. I'm like, okay.
That's one of those other level stars. Even though like her career isn't quite like, the craziest thing right now, she still is in the pantheon of very, very rare air.
Yeah. That would be a surprise. If I had Madonna's phone number, I would tell you.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there's like a 50-50 chance. And I really mean 50-50. So that 50 positive is really exciting. There's a 50-50 chance I get to meet Dolly Parton next month.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Wow.
Why? How? For what reason?
I'll be stalking outside of her home, and the way I do the odds,
on my indoor team.
She usually goes to the gym at this time, so 50-50, I will see her.
Yeah. Depending on if she keeps going on Tuesdays like she normally does.
How do you get to meet Dolly?
There is a podcast possible opportunity.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Wow.
Very cool. I do
50-50, 50-50.
I have a lot
We're not sure it's going to happen. We're not sure everybody's into it. It's 50-50. So the day that I have Dolly Parton in my phone, I'm shouting that junk from the rooftops.
See, I have like a lot of just like the people that are like in our circle who my only relationship with them is professional, you know, like, you know, so like I may have like someone like from that we've interviewed that I'll need their number in order to coordinate times and stuff. But it's not like we like text or anything. And I remember one time I was like calling my buddy, my buddy from college named Rob, and I like called him up and the voicemail was like, "Hey, this is Rob Bell. Thanks for calling. Just leave me a message. I'll call you back." And I was like, I'm so glad he didn't answer, because that would have been really weird, because I'm like, "Rob, what's up, man?" And like, I don't think I would have realized it's not my buddy Rob, but I wouldn't have realized it's Rob Bell. And I would just try to play it off, like going through my head of like which Rob that I actually call while Rob Bell is like, why is this person calling me? So
you would have shut down.
I have a couple of those that I get nervous about accidentally like pocket dialing or something at some point, you know?
Well, you and Ira Glass have become chummy.
We have.
Yeah, that's a
it
good
started
one.
out as a professional thing. I'm not talking about those. Andy, I want to know friend, most famous friend, like the text of like a joke text with no introduction.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. I don't know.
I have never been more disappointed. If I had anybody that would impress anyone, I would be just spilling the beans all over the place right now.
I know.
I mean,
you would, except that wouldn't make them your friend.
Eddie, this should make you sound.
This is what they got to know.
I bet you could text Tony Hale, because when I was talking to him,
That's right, Eddie.
we
talked about
to him
Tony
recently, and you know, me and him were chit chatting because I've talked to him in the past. And you know, we're not like chummy, but we're kind of, you know, he lived in my area for a while, so we're kind of talking about local places you know, we like to hang and all that. And I was like, by the way, I think you've done stuff with IJM. You know, I know this guy Eddie there. He's a buddy of mine. And he's like, "Oh, Eddie's great. I was just texting with Eddie, actually." I was like, "Okay."
Yes.
So Eddie's texting with Tony Hale.
Good
to know.
Bros.
Good to know.
Best bros who I've never met in person. But we'll do a joke text. We'll do a joke text.
That's cool.
Do
you ever just go like this? Do you ever text him and go, "Hey, brother, just thinking about you"?
I was going to say, he's a Bluth. I can't text a Bluth.
It is everything in my soul not to make that joke every single time I talk to him.
Has he ever sent you a GIF of himself?
That's how you know you're really famous, is when you really can send one of yourself. You can
because
search
there's
yourself and find
so many. Yeah, there's so many options. He could have a whole conversation with you as himself in GIF form. Yeah.
But I will say the most obnoxious person of any notoriety that I do know that gets me the most attention ever, and I bet that this is the same with you all, is Annie F. Downs. I'm in Ghana, in like doing some real intense storytelling, and two women who I had met maybe 2 days earlier, they're like, "Okay, we have to ask you, are you like actually friends with Annie?" "Yes." "Can we all take a picture and you send it to her and tell her how awesome we think she is?" "Yes." And Annie, probably over the last year, I've done that, 3 times? Because people are like, "Here's what we know about you. You know Annie." And that has been, I would say that's probably for all 3 of the guys on this show, that's our best calling card.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
I hope not.
All right. Well, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's the Hot List. You're listening to Dinner Time. The song is You Love Me, I Know. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Walla with Lanes. Okay, it's time for...
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
I mean, it's
I like it so much.
It's sizzling still makes me laugh every time.
It's hot in the right and wrong ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it is very hot.
It's sultry. It's sultry is the word.
Sultry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming
It's
in
the
number
sultry list.
5 this week on the Hot List. Well, it came news this week. Like the news became news this week. Snopes and Christian satire site, the Babylon Bee, are beefing over their fact-checking policies.
Oh, so stupid.
This
Keep
is
going.
a little inside baseball media edition. So the fact-checking site Snopes is engaged in a dispute with the conservative satire site, the Babylon Bee. I like that clarification, Jesse. It's no longer a Christian satire site.
Yeah.
It's a conservative satire site.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean,
Well, and that's partly why
they
this story
have drifted far from what they started
because
as.
this story actually, as I was kind of putting finishing touches on this today, this story's now picked up by the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and the Washington Post.
Whoa!
Because of
and the hot list.
Yeah, and now the sizzling version.
So
the top of them all. It's on the hot list.
The Babylon Bee started out as a Christian culture satire site, and they'd have make fun of hip worship leaders and stuff like that. And now it's just a whole bunch of conservative news, and kind of like everything else in the Christian world, it's just all about politics now.
And a lot of it is really cringy,
it's really bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
I do not like them.
Their moral and ethical and social compass is skewed far one way, and it's not true north. So
Well, Adam Ford, who founded and then later sold the Babylon Bee, has actually been critical of Snopes, and last month posted an extended thread on Twitter criticizing them for fact-checking stories like the one with the headline, Georgia lawmaker claims Chick-fil-A employee told her to go back to her country, later clarifies he actually said, my pleasure. In a piece critical of the story, Snopes wrote, the Babylon Bee has managed to confuse readers with its brand of satire in the past. This particular story was especially puzzling for some readers, however, as it closely mirrored the events of a genuine news story, with the big exception of the website's changing the location. The Babylon Bee's brand of satire is derivative of like The Onion and stuff like that, it's like absurd news stories written in like AP style and meant to look like an actual newspaper. Well, this week, Snopes shared a piece headlined, Study, Too Many People Think Satirical News is Real, which claimed that many of the stories that fooled real people on the internet were satirical. It says, quote, Americans are worried about their ability to distinguish between what's true and what isn't, and think made-up news is a significant problem facing the country. They surveyed 800 Americans to see if they would believe claims made in satirical online stories. From their study, satirical articles like those found on the Babylon Bee frequently showed up in our survey, it said. In fact, stories published by the Bee were among the most shared factually inaccurate content in almost every survey we conducted. On one survey, the Babylon Bee had articles relating to 5 different falsehoods. They singled out the Babylon Bee story titled, Elon Omar, if Israel is so innocent, then why do they insist on being Jews? That was the headline from the Bee. The intro to that story reads, when Israel responded with airstrikes to over 600 rockets fired at them from Gaza, many defended this as a justified act of defense. Representative Omar lashed out against this view, saying on Twitter about Israel, if they're so innocent, why are they Jews?
That gives you a taste of how...
this used to be they used to make fun of Christian worship leaders, faux hawks, and now this is what.
And like a water slide at Stephen Furtick's baptismal tank, like we get the target, but they're a lot of times now they're really punching down. Like it's one thing making lighthearted jokes about people with big platforms. It's another thing to make fun of the individuals that are often on the victim side of current event stories.
In a statement, Kyle Mann, the current editor-in-chief of the Bee, said, from their view, we're just pretenders using the label satire to our advantage so we can hoodwink the masses. It's really extraordinary, especially since they've acknowledged in private communication with us that there is a clear distinction between our satire and intentionally misleading fake news. In response to the controversy, Snopes has now unveiled a new rating for content called labeled satire, which, quote, indicates that a claim is derived from content described by its creator and or the wider audience as satire. This is an interesting thing, especially coming up to political season, this labeling thing, because Instagram last week announced that they're introducing a new feature that if somebody on Instagram shares misleading or false news, that followers can tag it as such, and by tagging it / reporting it as false news, then it teaches Instagram's algorithm to be able to identify that content and remove it from the platform. And obviously, Facebook owns Instagram, so Facebook probably will have some version of that as well. So this whole like labeling content as real or not real is probably something that's going to be part of our reality.
Yeah, but even that to a degree has its risk and flaws, because some people will just just
Not
news
like the
they don't
news.
like, we'll just call it
Yeah,
fake news.
that's right.
I mean, we posted
the
something
weird
earlier
part.
this week that honestly was pretty much just an objective reporting of absurd things that a certain very powerful person had said, and the headline reflected, what had been said. And someone in the comment was like, "That's fake news. This is what their White House is always talking about. He never said those things. This is fake news." And people in the thread just screenshotted pictures of Twitter from, of like the actual things being said, and the person deleted their
actually what
comment,
was said.
right? Like because they're like, okay, well, this I can't just say it's fake news if obviously they're screenshotting direct quotes that I can go look at on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that's the danger of just giving it to the masses, because some people
Right.
will just call news they don't like fake news, or they'll say, "Oh, this is
That's right.
spin," or it's like, "This is direct quotes, man." That we live in crazy times, and like, I don't envy platforms that are having to regulate the madness, but I don't know what the right solution is. But it does seem like Snopes is trying to prevent people from believing stories that were never meant to be true. And for the Babylon Bee to get upset about it, it seems to me to be, pretty misguided.
Yeah.
I mean, who here is surprised that Babylon Bee is doing something short-sighted and misguided? I feel like that should be their subtitle.
Yeah. I
I'm
used
so
to be-
not into them.
I used to like really get the joke when
Wait.
it started.
Wait,
I
why
got
are
one
you-
for him. 10%
Why are you not
funny.
into them? Have they been taking on some of your famous friends?
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. I don't like how they talk about people that I know, because I
Which
think
ones? Who?
I think they sacrifice genuine people on the altar of thinking they're funny. And most of the time, I have not found Babylon Bee to be funny. So if what they said about people I know or don't know, was funny, I'd give them a break. But usually what they say is not funny, and they steal people's jokes. I mean, they're y'all are going to get me going.
No, go.
Yeah. What?
They're not original. They take other people's jokes and make them into their things. And you go like, wait, didn't John Chris just make that video? And now you're acting like y'all just did that? Or didn't so-and-so just already do that thing? And Babylon Bee takes other people's stuff and reworks it, makes it their own. And it's not interesting to me.
I mean, they're taking the entire like construct of The Onion. Like The Onion
right.
invented writing jokes in AP style.
I know. It's like,
Right.
hey, they're doing that. Great. Let's do that, but do a Christian
100%.
version. And now they're not even doing a Christian version. They're just,
That's right.
Yeah. I find myself more okay with, I have a long history of trying to be funny and it not working. I also understand like they are using a form of satire that The Onion invented. I just don't like it when they get mean. It feels like there's just, I can understand missing the mark with humor, or
Yeah,
but
same.
it just seems like sometimes it just gets like mean to people. And that feels like that just like throws out some sort of group thought that we just do not need more of. That's where I don't understand Babylon.
Yeah.
Anyhow, have you texted any of those friends of yours, Annie, and made jokes with them about it?
Yes.
I accidentally called Rob Bell.
famous friend.
I accidentally called Rob Bell and had a convo with him about it.
I left a voicemail for Rob Bell about it. That's as famous as it got for me.
He texted back, "New number, who dis?" So I don't know if the message was sent, but I feel like I did my part.
Annie, do you have famous friends that are so famous that they change their number regularly throughout the year?
And
Yes.
and then do they text you and tell you what the new
Do
number is?
you get the updated number, or do you
Yes.
find yourself oh, wow.
Oh, now just whisper who it is.
Like, who is that?
No.
Because that's another level.
Yeah.
Because Dolly's not rocking the
Do you
same
know,
cell
though, I
number
did
for
see
20
someone
years.
the other day. I was with another friend and she got a text and it said new phone number from the person. It said new, like if it was me,
Yeah.
new Annie phone number, as it was like new Annie. And I was like, oh, I don't have a new Annie.
You're like, oh, that makes
that
me
friend
sad.
didn't send me their new number.
Yeah.
But that happens. Y'all got to remember, I live in Nashville. That happens a lot with people in our town where they change their numbers, or their business manager buys their houses, so it's not on record. I mean, that is very normal here.
Yeah, I do. Listen, I do the same thing. Mine's for budgetary reasons. I've been just using 7-Eleven burner phones for the last 6
Yeah.
months, and I got a whole box of old ones. If you guys want any, some of those numbers have been connected to some things. So I'm just warning you
Jesse
now.
gets an-
But, I hear it.
Every
I get
Friday
it.
I get a text, new number. But it's actually Dana, because Jesse doesn't buy the texting feature, so Dana has to
Yeah,
just be
and
like,
most of them,
Right.
most of the texts come in on an old pager, and it takes me about 8 minutes to read each one because they just
Right,
kind of slowly
right.
make their way across the screen. But I'm saving nearly $12 every 2 months, and so every
that's
little
great.
Dave Ramsey thing, I got a little envelope for it, and so it's Getting there.
You keep
Getting
your
there.
phone in
That
an
was
envelope.
that was a very hot
I'm
list.
digging myself
Very
out of
hot.
a pretty big hole right now, and trust me, every little bit helps.
Every burner phone matters.
Pretty deep, big hole. So here we are. Here we
Trying
are.
to figure out which ones of Annie's friends have multiple numbers throughout the year.
I'm going to go to Babylon Bee and see and start saying names, and we'll just see if her face twitches.
Just keep going. Number 4 on the hot list.
Number 4 on the hot list,
Not
the
interesting.
new single from Social Club Misfits deals with doubt. The duo released a song this week called Believe, and they said on Twitter, this song is for anyone struggling with their faith. You don't want a catchy phrase or a quote. You want a real answer from God. Don't lose hope. In the song, they openly wrestle with doubt, questions, and faith. Rapping, Jesus, you know all the nights that I cried and fell apart on the inside and wondered if I believe. Somehow you listen to all my questions. Remind me that it'll all work out as long as I believe. Here's a clip.
Yeah, do you still believe? And what you cannot see? Yeah, I know God is watching me, but it's kinda harder to see. Yeah, I'm done with the overthinking. If it don't happen, I'ma be just fine. Yeah, this is not a covert mission. Nope. I'm not gonna hide who I am anymore. God, can you tell me what you doing? I'm surprised.
I like Social Club Misfits. I hope they get huge. They are
Yeah, I like them too.
Amazing
And I
guys.
like this forum for wrestling with doubt. Like
not Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, like it's an artistic way where they can thoughtfully, present commentary on doubt. If you listen to the song, the whole thing's about wrestling, but it's not done in a way that seems sort of, I don't want to say haphazard, but it seems like there's real thought into the delivery and the artistic integrity of it in a way that's going to engage people. That doesn't leave you kind of with that, like, I don't know, that feeling of, not knowing how to respond. It's like, oh, this is a piece of art I can engage with, but they're still being honest,
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in number 3 this week on the hot list, big news for one of our favorite comedians, Nate Bargatze. He's been here on the show. We've covered him in the magazine. He's one of our favorite comedians. And it's official, not only that he's getting his own show, or he's shooting a sitcom pilot for ABC based on his life.
Yeah.
Okay. So get this, though. This week it was announced that the parents on the show are going to be the parents from that 70s show.
What?
Yeah.
Kitty and Red
The
Foreman.
same parents?
Yes, Deborah Jo Rupp and Kurtwood Smith, the actors who played Kitty and Red Foreman on the show, are reuniting for the sitcom pilot for ABC about the real life of stand-up comedian Nate Bargatze. Jared Carmichael, which you might remember from the Carmichael Show and other things, he's one of the show's executive producers. So Deadline said, based on the life and comedy of Nate Bargatze, the series follows Nate and his wife Laura, who choose to move from California to Nate's native Tennessee, where his parents, played by Rupp and Smith, still live, to raise their 6-year-old daughter. They find the pursuit of a simple life to be much more. Nate recently released his breakout Netflix special, The Tennessee Kid, and he told us at the time that he grew up going to church in Tennessee, and after years on the comedy circuit in cities like Chicago and New York, he moved back to Nashville to raise his family. He said, in Tennessee, everybody's a Christian. You can look outside your car and be like, all these people go to church. You don't meet people that don't. So Chicago was the first time that I ever met people that either weren't religious or didn't believe in God. He said, even though he's become a big name in the world of stand-up, he still remains close to his roots and his parents. He told us, a lot of people that I was around weren't Christians and didn't grow up in the church or anything. Sometimes guys can go away from that, but it just made me get more into it because I just thought, why do you think you're right? I've always said I trust my parents more than I trust anybody else I ever met. Yeah. I think that's an interesting perspective on why he believes what he believes. He's like, he's encountering somebody who's a non-believer, and he's like, well, what makes you right? My parents told me that this is right, and I believe them.
Yeah, and he's like, I
That's
know
funny.
my parents are good people. They're from that 70s show. And so how could they be lying to me? The one thing about it, what do you guys think of the cast? I mean, I love the concept of the show. Like it sort of had, and I know when we talked to Nate, he was a big fan of Crashing, of Pete Holmes' show, which obviously faith and kind of relationships around faith were a big part of. And I know like he and Gerard Carmichael's done similar things with conversations about faith and relationships. But what do you guys think about the casting of the parents from the duo from that 70s show?
The first thing I thought is, do you remember, I know I can't utter his name anymore, but do you remember like after the Cosby Show, like 10, 15 years later, Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad reunited as a married couple on a CBS sitcom, and he was a working class guy, blah, blah, blah. It was weird.
Yeah.
Because that's Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was weird. And then like the same thing happened with Kevin James and Tiona
Leah Remini.
Leah Remini. Yeah, they were on a different show, but I don't know.
I will say though, that guy Kurtwood Smith, he's a really good character actor. I haven't seen, Deborah Jo Rupp? I haven't seen her as much and stuff, but he's like a really good actor. So I think that as long as they play different characters, they weren't like as primary on the show, that it'll like wreck it. I think it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember them together.
But if you're familiar with Nate's comedy, his dad in particular is like a very big part of a lot of his stories, because his dad was like a Christian magician who would do magic and weave like, kind of evangelistic things into the magic. And for some of his specials, like, I mean, one of them's called Getting Yelled At by a Clown, where he talks about how weird it is because his dad was also a clown for a time, when his dad would come home from work in clown makeup and then yell at him for doing something stupid around the house, and how jarring it is to have someone in clown makeup yell at you and punish you. But I mean, like, all that to say is like, I feel like, man, I kind of wish they had gotten a more like, notable comedic actor for the father. But I'm eager to watch it either way.
Yeah. I think it'll be really interesting. And I've never planned a TV show, but my imagination tells me that you kind of need stars like that when Nate Bargatze isn't as well known on TV like that.
Yeah.
That you've got to have some names.
Some anchor.
But it is weird to see the same set of parents doing parenting two different families.
Yeah. That's what's weird about it. It's like we all know them as the parents of a certain family.
Yeah. Yeah. But it'll be set in about the same time period, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, I don't think it's like in the 70s. Like, I think it's contemporary.
Right.
The only
is it? It's now. It's while they're gonna be his adult parents.
Yeah. Nate's playing Nate.
Yeah.
It's like Seinfeld.
Nate.
Yeah.
Speaking of Seinfeld, another parent that did this, Jerry Stiller, played Frank Costanza on Seinfeld at the same time he was playing Arthur Spooner on King of Queens.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I actually think, and as much as I love Seinfeld, and Cameron, I'm interested in your take on this because I know you've watched a lot of both shows. I think he's funnier as Arthur. Like, he carried that show. He carried King of Queens at times.
Really?
Yeah, but it's still Jerry Stiller. You know what I mean? But for some reason, it worked on both shows. Like you believed him in both characters. So maybe this will work. My thing with that 70s show is growing up, one of the most formative movies to me, one of my favorite movies, impacted my life, was Dead Poet Society. And Red Foreman was the horrible dad that drove his son to suicide in that movie.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then 5-10 years later, like, oh, there he is. He's just like kind of a blah, 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 kind of hard-edged dad. And I'm going, he's a horrible person. Like I could not see him as that iconic character, That's kind of...
Cameron, when we were at Lollapalooza, I ran into someone, and I don't know it really matters. I'll just not say their name, but that who had been on our cover.
Pull an Annie and just...
Yeah, he had been on our cover years ago in a band, and we were chit-chatting and catching up. And he was like, he's like, I still have that cover. He's like, the reason I appreciate the cover of that magazine so much, you guys did a great story and everything. He's like, that's the first time my parents were cool with me being a musician. They're like, oh, well, he's on the cover of a magazine, so this has to work out. I mean, he's like, it let my parents get off my back about being a musician. I was like, well, at least we could do that for you, So,
that's funny.
That is funny. All right, coming in at number 2 this week, pastors rejoice. Matrix 4 is coming to replenish your sermon analogy supply. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss have signed on for Matrix 4 with Lana Wachowski back to write and direct. The originals were directed by siblings Lana and Lily Wachowski. A fourth installment has long been rumored, and recently even Michael B. Jordan was in talks to star. However, given the current Keanu-zance, is that how we want to pronounce it?
The Keanu-zance. He's everywhere.
And the massive success of the recent John Wick 3, they ended up going back with the original Neo. In a statement, Lana said, "Many of the ideas Lily and I explored 20 years ago about our reality are even more relevant now. I'm very happy to have these characters back in my life and grateful for another chance to work with my brilliant friends." What do we think about this?
I'm honestly for it because I feel like, okay, so the first Matrix was a really important movie, just like in
It's a game changer.
Yeah, it was a game. You had visually, you had bullet time. They wrestled with a lot of really interesting ideas that even that 20 years later are just as interesting as they were then and more prescient in a lot of ways. There are people now who spend a lot of their lives living in sort of virtual worlds, not to the degree that they are in the Matrix, but a lot of, that's actually to a degree a lesser technologically advanced, and obviously there's no, nefarious AI controlling the people behind the scenes. But that impulse to live a better, easier life virtually has become like a real impulse that people deal with. I feel like the second two were rushed because of the success of the first one, and so they were more reliant on action sequences and visuals than they were really about advancing the story or really wrestling with the same level of complexity of ideas. So now that 2 decades have gone by since the first one released, and the issues that they're wrestling with are so far advanced. I can kind of see this as like an almost like an action movie Black Mirror, where it's projected a little bit into the future.
Do love Black Mirror.
Well,
You really do, man.
Well,
we haven't talked about it in a while.
And I'm not saying every episode is great, but I think they've done a great job at wrestling with the moral complexities of living in the modern digital age that we do, and the unintended consequences of our technological advancements. So I'm interested to see if it kind of goes in that direction, but I think it's a good thing. What do you guys think?
Oh, I thought those movies were so boring. I don't know.
Yeah, same. I did not like those movies at all, so I do not care.
I was like, what are these nerds talking about math and like dodging bullets? And I don't know.
Eddie,
I'm good.
For sure. I'm like, that is not $15 I'm going to spend at the movie theater.
No way.
You just saved me $15 of my life.
I didn't like 1, 2, or 3. I get the value of them, but I was like, this is all just I did not like these movies, so I could care less.
I remember seeing one and loved. I really liked one.
Yeah.
I saw 2. Was like, did we need 2? And I didn't even bother with 3.
Yeah.
So I won't bother with 4 either. I think it's just been there, done that. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, Jesse, you'll just have to tell us how
fine.
it goes.
I'll be at the midnight show, dressed in black, skin tight black leather, all by myself, and
like
I will
always.
report. Like always, that's where I hang out at night. I get in my skin tight black leather, and just wander around the movie theater parking lot,
And your cool like '90s black glasses, whatever those were called.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm waiting
what they
for
are,
Dolly
but-
Parton to show up. She should be here any minute now, and got to put her number in my phone. So there we go. There we go.
50-50 chance Dolly's going to hit the late show again.
By my calculations,
50-50, y'all.
by my calculations, I'm bound to run into her one of these nights. So
I feel like I have a 50-50 chance of seeing Dolly Parton next month, right? Don't we all at this point?
it's either got to happen or it's not. And
yeah.
my understanding is
Who knows
I
what
don't
she is?
disagree with any of you. That's totally fine.
I'm just saying I think your chances are better than 50-50.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put
yeah.
mine
You're
are
gonna be
more
friends with
70-30ish at this point because I've spent a lot of nights at that movie theater, and the odds are just getting better every night.
Are you going to just, how hard will it be not to just start like humming Jolene as soon as you see her and just hope that she pops on and sings a little bit of it?
It makes me want, you know what I actually want to do? If I did one really insane thing like that, it would be learning the Kenny Rogers part of Islands in the Stream and asking her to sing it with me. Because currently I always sing the Dolly part.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
for
that would be-
karaoke
I'd have
night
to
and
learn
stuff
the
like
Kenny
that?
Rogers part.
Like karaoke
Real.
night every
Yeah.
Wednesday? Yeah.
50-50.
Hot list. Keep it going.
Coming in number 1 this week, Tori Kelly and The Late Show's John Batiste played a stirring cover of Amazing Grace on the show this week. She stopped by to promote her new album, Inspired by True Events. And while she was there, she joined Late Show musical director Jon Batiste for a stirring, unrehearsed rendition of the hymn, Amazing Grace. She's best known for her pop songs, Tori Kelly is, but she grew up performing in the church and last year released a gospel album.
And for that Nationwide commercial. I feel like I have never seen anybody more in a commercial than her in that commercial.
Nationwide.
Yeah. It was a lovely commercial.
I bought
was
Nationwide because of that. I was like, Nationwide, I'm not even sure what your product is. I'm going to give you my credit card number, and you just give me what you think I need, Nationwide. Yeah.
Speaking of credit cards, you know this new Apple Card came out? Have you been hearing what they've been saying about the Apple Card? They're like, by the way, don't put it in a leather wallet because it'll get permanently stained. Don't put it in your jean pocket because denim will stain it as well. And also, don't put it against other plastic credit cards because they'll scratch it up.
Gee whiz. What do you have to do? Carry it in a baggie?
Yeah, glass enclosure.
A baggie. That's it. I literally was wondering, like, how are you supposed to transport it? It's a baggie.
Yeah,
That's it.
A baggie.
Listen, I'll put it.
They have a partnership with Ziploc. You're about to see it come out. I'm calling it right now.
I'll put it in the same place where I carry my cash, which is jammed into my sock. And when the cashier asks, why is this cash all wet? I'll say, none of your beeswax. And I'll need my change, please. And then I watch them jam the change back into my sock. And I go, that's why it's all wet. And then I leave. And then I'm like, actually, can I get a receipt for that? That's a business expense.
That's a work expense.
Literally, 1 out of every 10 stories you tell reminds us that you live in Virginia. And that's it. Cash in your sock is such a Virginia.
It's very secure.
Like Jesse walks with a limp.
I've been mugged numerous times and they never found it there, Annie. They've never found it there.
Now they will. 50-50 chance now, Jesse.
In an interview with Relevant last year, Tori Kelly discussed fame and how her faith still informs her life and career. She said, Jesus loved people perfectly and he served other people. And I think that's what it's really about, trying to put other people first, especially in an industry that puts you first as a person who's kind of front and center on stage. It's easy for everyone else to come around that and put you on this pedestal. But for me, my challenge is to constantly try and not be on that pedestal and instead say, no, it's not about me. It's not about me. And try to focus as much as I can on other people. It's what Annie does every day. It's a real struggle for her not being
hard.
It's hard for me to. That's how I feel on the soccer field. I mean, it's all about me. It's all about me. All about me. And I'm like, you guys are right. I'm carrying this team now. Shape up or ship out. It's my pregame pep talk every game.
Shape up or ship out is your big pregame pep talk.
Yeah, it's
that's why you only made it one game in 8 minutes.
Listen,
is that right?
I've cycled through a lot of teammates, but a lot of people just don't have the mental toughness that I'm looking for. So too bad. So sad.
So Tori continued, she said, it's hard. It's a daily challenge and a daily prayer too, to wake up and just be like, God, I need your help today. Help me to not think about myself today, but to just think about you and other people. I think that's really all I can do. Here's a clip of her unrehearsed rendition of Amazing Grace with Jon Batiste.
A wretch like me, I once was lost, but now I'm found.
She's an okay singer.
Was blind, but now
I'll say this: if there was ever such thing, is on your side. if there was ever such thing as a Christian Las Vegas nightlife lounge, that song would be played. Yeah. Like, did you not feel like you could just put on a satin robe and just
a satin robe?
Yeah.
Why you don't go to a Las Vegas lounge and wear a robe
over my jacket?
Who hasn't rehearsed Amazing Grace? I mean, I know they weren't sitting down together, but it's like, we've sung it. I think she was good. She's
but
very
if someone put me, honestly, if someone was like, hey, I'm going to play the piano, you sing Amazing Grace, I think I would get the lyrics probably 60%. That's see.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you get into the deep verses.
Yeah. Twas once a do-do-ba-do. Like, him or me here, I can't remember. Grace has found.
Born in the manger.
On the sparrow. Yeah. And then, you just start
Baby Jesus, etc.
Ancient of days. Blessing and honor, everyone. All the men.
Just hear,
Only the men's voices here.
all honor.
Unrehearsed. What do you want? What do you want from
We
me?
got it.
I'm losing them. I'm losing
Play
them.
it, John.
I got to get all the men involved at least.
All honor.
Humble
means you too, John.
thyself in the sight of the Lord.
Oh, I used to love that. song.
herself in. Now the ladies, see, we got him back, John. No thanks to you. Your boring little, twinkling the keys aren't doing anything. Okay, everyone's falling asleep here. Get the women involved.
Can you text Tori Kelly, Annie?
I don't know.
Oh,
Not right now.
Oh, you could burn.
No.
No.
Totally our friend. We're
All right,
totally
that-
uncovering this.
That'll do it for.
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
Stay tuned. Up next, Jeremy and Audrey Roloff join us.
Tender love is blind. It requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together. Making love with each other. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another.
You're listening to Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. Islands in the Stream. You can hear the Annie Downs part. Well, today's show is brought to you by Samaritan Ministries. We love hearing the stories of lives that have been changed by their unique model of healthcare sharing versus health insurance. And Jesse got the chance to talk to one of their members, and here's their story.
Samaritan Ministries is a healthcare sharing ministry with over 250,000 Christians that care for one another's needs, from broken bones to cancer to pregnancies to organ transplants, all without the use of insurance. One of those people is Kelsey. She's 27 years old and is currently undergoing treatment for breast cancer. She's also had a mastectomy and has gone through radiation and is currently finishing up her chemo treatments. I recently spoke to Kelsey about what it's like receiving support from the Samaritans community through her battle with cancer.
It's like nothing that I've ever experienced in terms of being able to hear from people across the country who I've never met before. I remember one day during chemo, I was really discouraged, just like not even understanding why this was something that I was having to walk through. And I received an electronic share notification, so an email came through. And it was from this couple. I don't even know where they're from in the United States. I didn't look it up, but their names are Rodney and Liz, and they had sent me a verse out of 2 Corinthians about how, we shouldn't lose heart because although our outward bodies are wasting away, we are being renewed day by day, and the hope that we have in knowing that we'll be seeing Jesus and we'll have a renewed body then. And it just came at such a perfect moment that it was an amazing encouragement, and just knowing that people are going above and beyond because they truly care for you. That's been a huge encouragement as I've just been kind of continuing treatment day by day.
What would you say to someone who wants to try Samaritans, but is maybe a little nervous because in their mind, it's sort of a non-traditional approach to healthcare?
I think any worries or concerns that I would have had about is this going to work have been totally put to ease having actually walked through it. The process of receiving a bill from a provider and then getting that to Samaritan Ministries and receiving the shares has been seamless. None of it's been difficult for me. And I've been able to actually get fair prices with providers, being a non-traditional patient when it comes to what kind of health care I have. And so I would just say to, give it a chance and to trust in the Lord that He's able to provide for us. At Samaritan Ministries is one of the ways that provision can come. It's been amazing to see what the Lord is doing through this process, not just for me, but for my friends and family too. And Samaritan has definitely been part of that.
If you would like to learn more about how you can be a part of this ministry helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant.
Jeremy and Audrey Roloff are the former stars of the reality series Little People, Big World. They host the podcast Behind the Scenes. They have nearly 2 million Instagram followers, and they are the authors of the new New York Times bestselling book, A Love Letter Life. They also are the founders of of an organization which provides relationship resources to young couples. They have a lot of free time on their hands, apparently. Good Lord, they do a lot.
Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
do a lot.
They're busy. And they're friends with Annie, too. Annie, do you have them on your phone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Good. They're that level. Could you text them a joke? Annie, could you text them a joke right now?
Jesse, you talk to them. Tell us what y'all said.
Okay, fair enough.
Good diffuse.
Yeah, I did really enjoy talking to them because, part of their mission, like what I was saying earlier, is to they obviously, as we just read, have a big platform and they want to use it not to necessarily position themselves for the end all be all experts, but to show people there's power in everyone's story and there's power in sharing stories, especially when it comes to relationships. Here's how they explained it.
Well, first of all, Audrey and I, we had a pretty interesting dating relationship, and a lot of people found themselves connecting with it, and we just found ourselves in a position to be able to, write a book, and we felt like we had a story to tell. We believe everyone's capable and qualified to tell their own story, so we decided to do that. And really, we have a heart for relationships, and we believe relationships hold the power to interpret how you experience life. And so we want to pursue a healthy one. And so we wanted to write it to encourage others to do the same.
Yeah, I really like that idea, though, that everyone is capable and qualified to tell their own story, and not, project too much, other stuff on it other than just hey, I hope someone gets something from what I've experienced, They also... they're both relatively young, and they grew up in the church. And one of the things that, and we've addressed this on the site over the years and in relationship articles that we've run, is really dispelling some of the misconceptions that I feel like people that grew up in the kiss dating goodbye era kind of fell under, where there was a lot of misconceptions that the Christians believed, and also a lot of labels that were just unhealthy. And part of the thing is they wanted to kind of help dispel some of them. Here's how they explained it.
Well, I think one of the biggest misconceptions, specifically in the Christian circle, is the idea of the one. I think that the one is the person you marry. So whoever you marry, they become the one. And the one isn't something necessarily we find. It's something we discover in someone. And I think in the Christian world, there should be pressure on who you marry, but we can sometimes put almost too much pressure on it. Because there's no such thing as the one. It's always going to be a difficult road, because marriage is essentially the process of, less of becoming less, and so that's a tough road. And so that's probably the big misconception, I would say. Babe, do you have one?
I would just add to that. I think specifically, since you asked specifically in the Christian space, I would say a lot of our Christian peers at that time, when we were entering into the dating season in college, late high school, people just put a lot of pressure on dating. And I think one of the things Jeremy and I really try to get across in the book is just building a friendship and not putting the pressure of a quote unquote dating label, which has so many different meanings now for our generation, like what dating even is by definition. But I think just the pressure that comes with the label of going on dates, or are we dating or are we not dating, and having to define that. At some point you need to, but I think in the beginning it's good to just be friends and build a friendship.
Yeah, I really
Annie,
like.
what do you think about what they said about finding the one?
I think that's really interesting. I like the idea of discovering versus finding.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting.
What do you think, babe? I'm talking to Jesse.
Thanks, babe. I really like what they said about the labels too. I do think that's important, babes.
Yeah. Annie, what do you think about?
I hate this show.
Annie,
now.
babe. Annie, babe. What do you think about dating?
I do. What, Cameron?
Who's the most famous person you've dated?
I haven't.
That's not true.
No, she's not lying. She's lying. It was probably somebody from DC.
John Batiste from The Late Show, and
That's right.
they did duets every day. Every day. That was their dating. Okay. Pivoting, babes.
We're really treating this material with great reference.
Yeah,
to
I know. Thankfully, they're good humored people. We had some laughs on the phone.
Yeah.
So, but one thing, the other thing too is like bringing like humility into the conversation and saying like, it doesn't matter necessarily how like famous or plugged into a church or something someone is, but you can't negate the importance of mentorship and talking to people who have real experience and have been there before and seeking out relationships that can speak into yours when times get tough. Here's how they discussed it.
The one thing that I kind of want to say about building a healthy marriage or whatever relationship, first of all, we're still figuring it out, but people say there's no such thing as shortcuts in life, and I disagree. There's absolutely shortcuts in life, and they come from people that have been there and done that. And so mentorship is for us a really big people that are older than us that we can ask questions, talk to, meet with, and just discuss problems with. Will save you so much time and heartache. It's probably the greatest tool for a healthy anything really, let alone relationship or marriage.
Yeah, I that's something that I like. The older I've gotten, not just with relationship stuff, but like the older I've gotten in life, is seeking people who've been there before and can serve as some sort of like in some sort of mentorship capacity is incredibly valuable. And I even like how he said it in the beginning. It's not like we have it all figured out. That's why you need to share your story, be a part of community and mentorship. Annie, what were your thoughts on that advice?
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea that the shortcut is having mentors. That's one of the things that I really respect about Jeremy and Audrey is how they have all these people plugged into their lives that speak into their life. And I can accidentally not do that very well and only let it be like my counselor and my peers,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I appreciate it's a nuanced view of mentorship because sometimes we view those people as like, we almost like deify them. Like, I want to be you. So if I can just hang out with you, I can be like you. But they're just saying, like, I actually want to hear their mistakes and faults.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear the realness of the things that they've been to. And I think that's a really healthy way to view mentorship, is just a real honest conversation about the road that they have traveled. And I think that puts people in right position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, babe?
Yeah, thanks, babe. Final clip along those lines is they, speaking, but along those lines, they did talk about like the value of counseling, not, especially in the early days, but asking really hard questions and setting yourself up for success in marriage, babe, is really important. And maybe if you did more hard work, babe, I wouldn't have to text you and CC Jeremy and Aubrey so much, babe. My mentors.
our mentor.
Okay, so they talked about the
I
importance
knew
of
you were the
counseling.
one.
Answering hard
Right away.
questions. I'm sorry. This clip. I'm sorry.
It took me a few podcasts, but then I knew it was you.
This clip has a tiny audio hiccup right at the end, but she says Enneagram. If you're wondering, okay, just play the clip, Chandler, and get me out of this. I'm in a deep hole.
I think for us, that was something that we really wanted to be super intentional about. Our premarital counselors really helped us in that journey and set us up with some good questions that we could be asking each other before going into marriage so that we weren't dragging baggage into our marriage that could have been addressed before we got married. And so we did have a lot of hard conversations before we got married. And we talk very honestly about that in our book. The season of engagement for us was not bliss. It was really hard. But I think that being said, we were willing to go through what we call in the book, the illumination of the past, kind of just, our family history, different communication styles, knowing each other's Enneagram numbers and love languages, talking about things that we're struggling with and having some of those harder or bigger conversations before we got married. So then when we did get married, our first year of marriage was actually really amazing. And although we were learning each other and had struggles and challenges, I think we were set up so much better for success in that first year because of just having had those conversations when we were engaged.
Annie, in case the one is out there listening right now, what's your love language?
Boy, this is a wild show.
What's your question?
We've already burned a bridge with two very delightful people who are very successful and that Annie's friends with. So thanks.
I'm about to be the third.
I said, what's your love language?
No, you're not.
In case anybody's listening.
Yeah, what's your love language?
Words of affirmation.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a very good one. Good answer, Annie.
Annie, you're
Thank
totally
you,
right.
Cameron.
And I appreciate how well you said that. And I appreciate you.
You're very good at
I
podcasting.
affirm,
And you're
allow these words to affirm
Oh, God.
how patient
you're
you
very
were.
good at almost meeting Dolly Parton.
Well, that was Jeremy and Audrey Roloff. Make sure to check out their new book, best-selling book, A Love Letter Life. And listen to their podcast. It's called Behind the Scenes. And follow them on Instagram. They're doing a lot. All right, stay tuned. Up next, a short version of Ask the Cast.
Once upon a time it was made for us. Woke up one day and it turned to dust. Baby, we were found, but now we're lost. So it's time to let it go. I want my house in the hills. Don't want the whiskey and pills. I don't give up easily, but I don't think I'm down. So it's just let it.
We like to think the church is a haven for the hurting, but what happens when it's not? The passion behind the Me Too and Church Too movements show no signs of relenting. As more stories of abuse and secrecy within the church unfold, it's clear that this is not yesterday's problem or a Hollywood problem. This is our problem, and survivors are speaking up. Author and advocate Mary DeMuth is using her voice to dare the church to listen. DeMuth's new book, We Too, unpacks the church's historical response to sexual violence and provides a healthy framework for a new way forward. We Too urges the church to become what it should be, a place of security instead of shame. We all know someone affected by sexual abuse. It's time to listen, act, and help find the road to healing. Visit we2book.com for information and resources. That's book.com.
Used to be. You say that everything changed. You're right, we're grown now. So I just gotta let it back to the ocean. I'll go back to the city. So I just gotta let it back to the ocean. La, 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 used to
You're listening to Miley Cyrus. It's her new single, Slide Away, about divorce and the loss of a relationship. So I thought it was a good song right after that segment. That's horrible. It's time for...
If you got something you wanna know, now's the time to ask. It's Ask the Cast.
Spicing up this segment. You guys hit us up on Twitter as we usually do on our Friday show. On Tuesday, we ask you a question. On Friday, you ask us questions. So it's time for Ask the Cast. You guys went over to at Relevant Podcast on Twitter, and here are some of the questions that caught our eye. Dave asks, do you have more mother or father issues?
Oh, you already did.
Dear Lord.
I have my issue mainly is with John Mark McMillan's father. So who else can go? Sorry, that's a reference from. I try not to back reference, but it's from last week. It's a joke.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Jeff says my wedding is tomorrow. Hey, congratulations, Jeff.
Jeff,
how do I make it?
You found the one. You discovered her.
Well, he doesn't know that yet. He won't know until they're married for a while.
Yeah, she becomes the one. Once he married her, she is the one. That's I think
tomorrow she's the one.
Yeah.
So he says, my wedding is tomorrow. How do I make it the most memorable wedding for everyone who will be in attendance?
Well, I think we both all have a lot of ideas, but I would say certainly show up pretty late just to get those hearts racing.
Exactly. And have a plant. Here, I don't even know if they do this at weddings anymore, but in the movies they did. But where they give an opportunity to the crowd to be like, if anyone would have any objection to this man and this woman becoming husband and wife. You remember when they used to do that and open the floor to allow people to express it? No wedding I've ever been to, no one's actually stood up and said anything. Here's what
me either.
You know what I'm saying? But you've been there where they.
But I get nervous every time.
Thank you. You want to give something they would never forget. Everyone will remember the wedding where that someone stood up and had. And here's what, Jeff, you're going to be the hero today. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have a plant like an old buddy of yours. He's going to go and he'll be in disguise, obviously, pretty elaborate. So you'll need to get working on the fake facial hair right now. And he will stand up and he goes, I object. I love this woman. This man, Jeff, is no husband for her. And as he like comes walking to the stage to take your spot being married, you get in a fist fight in front of everyone, like a hockey style. Like you take his tuxedo jacket and put it over his head and lop him in the stomach a couple times. And then you throw him out of the church like Uncle Phil doing a DJ Jazzy Jeff, and the whole place will go, yeah, Jeff, and they hoist you up on the shoulders and they carry you back up, and it's just a great scene. Everyone will love it forever.
Have all that in your head.
Annie, what do
Or
you think?
it'll just be like your friend who nervously was trying to storm the baseball game and it didn't quite go as planned.
These things usually go as planned. Annie, what do you think of my plan?
Yeah, I think both of what you guys suggested are
Pretty
nightmares.
good.
So well done.
Pretty good.
Do the opposite of that, future groom. Do the opposite of that. What's his name?
Jeff. He's getting married tomorrow,
Jeff,
Annie.
Jeff.
Jeff,
He's
first of all,
out of
Jeff,
options. The clock
congratulations.
is
I would
ticking.
also seriously think about what you're committing to up there, and I would maybe make some edits to the vows. I would subtract a few things. I would add in a few disclaimers. I just feel like you don't really want to promise before your family and God some of that
You're
junk.
not always going to put the toilet seat down, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just strike that from the...
Even just like some financial basics prenup, you're going to be fine.
I'm in a tremendous amount of debt, and I want the church and my bride for the first time to hear it here today. And I will say this, the debt is to the wrong kind of people, and I'm quite nervous. And so
Matthew,
we're going to need to change our name and move out to Arizona. I can't get into all of it, but I'm so sorry.
I've also
All
witnessed
right.
some horrible crimes that I'll be in the witness protection program. So,
Hey,
Jeff,
babe.
please tweet us a picture
Mazel
so we know
tov.
that you are
Mazel
lying
tov,
about getting
everyone.
married.
Yeah,
Jeff,
Mazel
tweet us a
tov.
picture.
All right, babe.
Great idea.
Next question. Matthew says, during a prayer circle, which cast member is more likely to attempt interlocking fingers with the person next to them?
Oh, that's
100% me.
Oh,
Yeah, but you're doing it out of like caring, right?
I mean, what's he look
Gross.
like?
it's a love language. It's love language.
Hey,
You know what I do?
get
You know
it.
what I always do?
Hot list.
Is I always act like I have to sneeze when I'm holding their hand and like
Ew.
pull their hand up with my hand to cover my mouth. I'm like,
Of course you do.
I just watch them like they're violently jerking their hand away. I'm like, stop, close the scene. And I'm like, and where it's their hand right in front of me. I'm like, stop it, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm allergic. What kind of perfume are you wearing?
The art of making someone laugh during prayer is really specific because it can't be like, hey, let's all get together and whatever, and then you do the interlocking, because at that point they have a chance. It's you got to get into it, and you got to
Right.
wait till someone's praying something that is just like, whoa, this would be absurd to interrupt it. And then
Right.
you just gently reach for those digits and you interlock in that moment and don't let go. And they can't do anything.
I know people are going to do that to me. So my fingers, when they are all four together, I mean, it's a kung fu master grip that no one's breaking. That's why I've done
Never.
the sneeze thing, because people are ready for that. Yeah.
Bethany says, my son asked, why do kangaroos have pouches? She said, I told him, but he wants to hear it from you.
Evolution and intelligent design.
Well, the correct answer is you don't know the answer. You are a liar because no one knows. The world's greatest scientists have never cracked this
Yeah.
one, Bethany.
No one's ever
so
even seen a kangaroo.
We're not even sure they still
I
exist.
don't know. I actually don't know why. I mean, I know that a baby's in there.
Yeah, it's a marsupial. They have
This is a place to keep stuff.
Yeah. They like milk them and things.
Yeah, they
They have like milk and toys and stuff.
yeah, it's where they hide their weaponry for street fights.
Caleb says,
Their Apple credit
tomorrow
card.
I'm going to a college fair to help recruit students for my youth group. How do I make them come?
Oh,
Lie. Tell him like, hey,
Yeah.
Amy Schumer's performing tonight. Oh, what, on campus, really? And then you get there, she's not here, and anyone who believed is a sinner and needs to be here
Anyone
tonight.
who knows her name.
You're obviously that person that needs to be here. So welcome, take a seat. That's where you're going to be sitting for the next 2.5 hours. So get comfy.
yeah.
Get comfy.
I'd hand out drinks. I mean, just let's start mix cocktails and say it's going to be a different kind of scenario here. Come and enjoy, and they'll be in. You'll get all the college kids.
Yeah, from what I understand, that's what they they do in the movies, and it always seems to work. Just have like a crazy
Big yard.
Get a
Advice.
crazy row house right in the middle of frat center or whatever, just like in the movies. Put on a toga.
Frat and center.
Put on a toga, get some Dixie cup, and just start waving them into the Bible study. They will come. They will come. That's how these things work.
And I would also suggest a long meandering version of Amazing Grace, just in the middle of the quad there.
With a djembe and a guitar. That's it. Okay, these two are kind of related because they're home questions. Beth asks, I'm about to close on my first house. Congrats, Beth. What's the number one thing I should know about becoming a homeowner? And then also, Chris said, I've recently moved into a new neighborhood. What are some things I can do to assert dominance among my neighbors? I feel like they're both kind of
I feel like she answered Chris's
answers.
question because the first thing you do as a homeowner is assert dominance in the entire neighborhood. I mean, are we on the same page?
And the way you do that is that you install a concreted, like completely immovable yard of the month sign into the middle of your yard, so that everyone just knows yard of the month is here to stay and no one can touch
Yard
it.
of the month is a thing
Oh, yeah.
in neighborhoods?
Oh, yeah. The Green Thumb
yeah.
Award.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
dumb.
In my old neighborhood,
Yard
it
of
used
the
to be
month.
shaped like a green thumb. And they, whoever had the best.
House of the... But then you continue adding signs. House of the month, family of the month, Halloween candy of the month, and no one can get those signs. And everybody
That's
just knows
so weird that neighborhoods do that.
how weak they are. Yeah.
This is
Who
interesting.
cares?
Hey, babe, this is interesting. Leo says, if you could I have never thought of this before. This is interesting. If you could pick one TV show to live inside of forever, what would it be? Like living in Scranton,
That's a great question.
working
You
for
asked this,
Dunder.
Leo?
Like living in Scranton, working for Dunder Mifflin. Like you live inside of a TV show forever. You're a doctor on Grey's Anatomy, living in Seattle. That kind of thing.
Annie, I feel like you're a big fan of this question. What would your answer
I'm a
be?
big fan, but I'm really thinking maybe Gilmore Girls?
Small
I really love
town,
Stars Hollow.
Good friends. Yeah.
Got lots of
that's
friends, lots
interesting.
of shenanigans going on. I think it's really fun.
Honestly, I would. This is going to be an old school one, and turn on the Nick at Night if you want. Silver Spoons. They're rich, and the kid does nothing
that
but ride
train.
that train around the house.
That train,
That's an
Jesse,
easy
come
one.
on.
I would
And
be
he
a
had a car
child
bed.
and live in Silver Spoons because
I
Ricky
love
Schroeder
that
had it
idea.
easy. He had a cake. That was no problem. Yeah.
And a
Oh
car
man,
bed.
what was that show? Oh, it was all about space. It was like when I was in 8th grade. I'll come back
Star
to it.
Trek.
I mean, the West Wing.
Star Trek, and it's super
I'd love to be
boring.
like on staff in like an idyllic White House kind of like. I'd like to
Too
be
stressful.
friends with all those
Too
people.
stressful. I want something with no stress. Cameron, what would you pick?
Way too stressful.
Bachelor in Paradise. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Yeah. I think you're
Shelby
telling the
says, last question. Leaving for a family vacation tomorrow to spend a week in northern Michigan on the water. Any suggestions to make it a trip I won't forget?
First of all, it's time to start burning bridges with that family. If you're close enough to them that you're still going on vacation, there's some stuff left to say, and I would just get to it before
Just
you're
go ahead
older.
and say it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
My advice for you in all seriousness, you want this to be a trip that you never forget.
Never forget.
Never.
Don't go to northern Michigan. Go to somewhere people actually want to go on vacation because that's
Oh, no.
I'm going to
Michigan.
Northern
Omaha
Michigan
this
people are
year.
about to come
Going on a
out.
sweet week in Omaha or Boise. Find somewhere cool to go. You'll never forget that.
Oh, you've offended all of our Boise listeners with your Boise references. Boise is a cool city. We know it, everybody.
I'm not
it's just
saying-
not a,
I'm just
it's
saying
just
I-
not
Boise.
a vacation destination per se.
The best vacation of my life destination. Go somewhere cool. That's if you want it.
Yeah.
It's all about the destination.
I can't believe this question. I missed the last week's where they asked like the "How can we be praying for you" thing. It was so deep last week. Yeah.
Eddie,
What would your answer have been, Eddie?
let's hear it.
No
Let's
thanks.
get
I'm
real.
fine. Pass.
Eddie texted me midweek and said, I am so glad I didn't have to answer that question.
In all seriousness, Eddie told me offline he's in a tremendous amount of debt to the wrong kind of people, and he's trying to get Jeff to mention something at the wedding tomorrow, maybe a little love offering because anything helps. I told him the burner phone idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's saving me.
Eddie's love offering is money, or his love language is money. So if everybody could just...
Cash,
Y'all just
please.
wrapped up
Venmo.
5 jokes. That was very impressive. How in one answer you closed the loop on 5 jokes. That was
there we
good.
go.
All
Let's
right,
get out of here before we ruin it.
that'll do it for
If you got something you wanna know, now's the time to ask. It's Ask the Cast.
Okay, well, many thanks to Jeremy and Audrey Roloff for joining us. Their new book, best-selling book, A Love Letter Life, is out now. Go check it out. And we apologize for all of the interruptions during their compelling conversation.
From Eddie Koffoltz.
Edward Vincent Koffoltz III.
Also, thanks to Samaritan Ministries for making the show possible. If you'd like to learn more about how you can be part of this ministry, helping each other with health care, visit SamaritanMinistries.org/relevant.
All right, Annie, last chance. You can text somebody right now.
Right now.
We all freak out. Who is it? Just
a little freak out. Yeah.
It's
like none of us could text this person.
Okay.
Stedman. She mouthed Stedman to me. That's
she did. She said
Stedman. Long term.
It's Stedman. You're
long
right.
time
It's
love
Stedman.
interest. Stedman. He's a good guy. He's a good dude. She mouthed it. She mouthed it.
That
Text
counts.
him right now. Tell him.
Texting him as we
Tell him he
speak.
finally got name dropped on this pod.
It's pretty incredible.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Eddie Babe Koffoltz.
I'm Annie Uptown.
We will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
No more will you cry, baby. I will hurt you never. We started in as one, in love forever. We can ride it together, making love with each other.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
We want a picture, not a belly itcher.
Relevant Podcast Network.